So, can you tell me, in your school in Lahore, the one that you attended till 8th standard, what was your medium of instruction? What languages did you learn? What script were you?
During those periods, English was a subject, but it was not spoken by the students in the schools. A few of boys used to speak English with each other, but most of the boys they used to speak in the language. The language was Punjabi language. Most people used to talk in Punjabi or Urdu language. So it was a very good school, DAU school, about 1,000 students were there. And the sections were according to the merit of the school. The brilliant students, they used to be grouped in one section. Similarly, in other mediums, the very brilliant students they used to put in one section, A section, then B or C section was there. Teachers were very dedicated. Teacher also used to teach us in all the subjects in Hindi or Punjabi as conveniently so that students could understand well. But English was a subject as it's during English period. We used to speak in English, teachers would speak in English.
So, the script that you used to write in Hindi or Urdu, was it the Urdu script or the Hindi script?
No, there were certain subjects, suppose history was there, geography was there, that we used to reply in Urdu.
And write?
Urdu or Hindi. That was our option. Either you can opt Urdu or you can opt Hindi. But most of the students during those days used to write in Urdu. Hindi was not very popular. In school also the subjects were Hindi and Urdu. Those people who can study Hindi, they used to study Hindi. But mostly students used to study Urdu. That was the language. State language, you may say.
Can you describe the house that you lived in Lahore?
I also mentioned that was a quite big house. About 4 acres of land was there. Half of the house was with us, and half of the house was with one Mr. Gopal Das Soni. He was secretary in the life insurance corporation. Life insurance was not in the government affair. Life insurance was a private affair. He was secretary there, and he has, I think, 3 sons and about 3 daughters. And 2 of his sons were of my age, Bharat Bhushan and Soni, and Vijay Bhushan Soni. They were my neighbors and friends. We used to play together. We used to fly kites together. They were studying in Sacred Heart Convent. I was studying firstly in that municipal school, then the AIM school.
So, can you tell me, what were all your friends Hindu or Sikh, or did you have any Muslim friends at that time? When you were a young boy, maybe?
I mentioned I had recently joined DAV school. DAV school was very far off from my place. So all the boys of the DAV school, they were very far off from my place. So one of my class fellows, they were also, he was living near my house, Mozang area. He was living. He was Jain. He was Jain, I think. Yes, he was Jain by religion. One of my friends, I remember that he was weak in mathematics, and I used to go to his school to just help him. And his parents, I think his parent, Mr. Jain, he was in a concern, Birla concern, mostly Birla concern. Yes. Then Mr. Jain, later on, he went to England and got high education. He became director in Times of India or some other organization. So one of my other friends, they were just in the same colony, Punjab, I told Panja Mahal Road. There was one Datta family. So he was principal of the Haley College of Commerce. His father was principal of the Haley College of Commerce. So he had 4 sons and 1 daughter. His 4 sons, and 2 of those 2 sons were of my age. One Ravi Datta and another was Tej Kumar Datta. They were of my age, although they were 1 year or 2 years senior to me. But we used to play together. And I used to go there for playing ping pong and all that. He used to come to my place. But my friendship only dwelt after the death of my father. During the death, in the earlier period, I don't remember any incident. This much I remember that after the death of my father, I used to go to their house for playing, and then they used to come to our house. We used to fly kites and play marbles. And our friendship was not very long time, just for I think 3 years, that's all. Tej Kamal was a very brilliant student. He didn't join school till he was in 8th class. For 8th class, up to 8th class, he had a tutor. He used to come to his house and teach there. His father was an England attorney. I think he must have done post-graduation in economics from foreign university. So they were quite educated family, bureaucrats. They were bureaucrats. They had a good bungalow here, there also. Opposite to our house, there was a hostel of medical college. So one of the incidents which I remember, my cousin, his name is Sri Krishan, S.K. Sharma, Dr. S.K. Sharma. So he was lucky to get admission in MBBS after passing 10+2. And there was Sir Gangaram Hospital, Gangaram College and Sir Gangaram Hospital, newly, I think, established in Lahore. Government medical college was there, and this was, I think, government or private medical college, Sir Gangaram Hospital and Gangaram Medical College. And the hostel of that medical college was opposite to our house. So being my cousin, he used to come to our place whenever he used to get time. So I think a year or two he also studied there in the hostel. He could not, when there was a partition, till he was not fully MBBS, he was still a student of medical college. And I was in 9th class when there was partition. So another incident of my life before 1947 is that after the death of my father, my two elder brothers were married, there was one sister married. My sister got married in 1945 or 46. And marriage of my sister, I very well vividly remember all the incidents of this. I was very active during the arrangements in my sister's marriage. So, yes, and then what happened, there were 2 brothers, elder brothers. So one of my elder brother, he was a law graduate. He did his BSc with the medical, but he could not get medical admission. So he then studied law in Law College, Lahore, and he did his LLB from Lahore. The eldest brother, he was not very good in studies, but he was good in English. He used to study novels and all that, but he could not pass graduation. So he was not interested in studies. He has a technical mind. So he used to miss the college and used to visit a workshop, motorcycle workshops. There was one friend, Mr. Butt. There was one workshop, Butt Brothers, McLeod Road, Lahore. And my He was a friend of my elder brother. So Mr. Bhatt was a friend of mine because he used to sit in his workshop and develop interest in the repairs of motorcycles. When my father thought that he is not interested in studies, so what he wanted to do, he said that I want to establish a workshop, motorcycle workshop. All right, my father said, all right. If you want to run a workshop of motorcycles, then establish a shop, proper shop. And my father was all right. He gave him all the finances, and they started a workshop, auto center in McLeod Road, Lahore. The name of that shop was Harrison Engineers. So, elder brother was busy there in the workshop, and the younger brother was elder to me also, now graduate. So he was a junior to a very senior lawyer. He was a senior lawyer and he was junior. But after the court service, I think my younger brother also used to go to the shop. He did not develop much interest in the law career. So my elder brother told him, if you are not interested to practice law and you have interest in this shop, so you run this shop and I shift to Delhi. In 1946, my elder brother shifted to Delhi. I started business in Delhi and you remain in Lahore and you run this shop, Harrison Engineers, as you have got experience now. So my younger brother running the shop, although he was a law graduate, and my elder brother, he shifted to Delhi. And I was studying in 9th class. After the death of my father, so we shared the kitchen. My brother's family, his wife and I think 2 children, they used to live in the lower, on the ground floor, and we used to live on the upper. Myself and my mother only. We used to live in the upper story and they were on the south. One of the incidents of my life which I remember, that we had a servant and his name was Mulayam Singh. He was also my age. He used to fly kite with me also. So, when the disturbance started, and after 1946, the disturbance of this started from Rawalpindi area. So in Rawalpindi, there is one Sikh leader. His name was Master Tara Singh. So Master Tara Singh was making very exciting speeches in Rawalpindi area to excite Hindus against Muslims. And similarly, they were Muslims, they were exciting Hindus. The result of that speeches was very dangerous. What happened, there was one village. In that villages, in Muslims, they forced all the Hindus of that village in open space and tied them and burned them. There was a book named as Rape of Rawalpindi. In that which I had seen that book, and that was the pictures how the Hindus have been murdered, how they have been burnt alive. So the Hindus also get excited how they were murdered and by the Muslims. Similarly, Muslims must have also been excited like this. The hatred between Muslims and Hindus started increasing too much. Political scene was that there was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, all these leaders. The Britishers asked them to make interim government, Muslims and Hindus together. But that interim government also did not succeed. There were differences between Muslims and Hindus. And the Britishers then finally decided that if you can't live together, then there should be a partition of the country. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the leader of the Muslim League. And there was Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi, Patel. All these leaders were from the Congress. Finally, it was decided that the India should be divided on the population basis. Areas which are majority Muslim areas, which can be made Pakistan. And areas having majority Hindu areas, they should be made in India. So what happened? It was decided on the 15th of August 1947. Actual change of the bifurcation of the two countries will take place, and the Britishers will go away from there, and we shall have our own flag, and that will be hoisted in the Parliament in Delhi in 1947, 12th August at midnight.
So,
What happened? My elder brother, his name is Jagmohan Sharma, and the eldest brother's name was Madan Mohan Sharma. He got married at Rawalpindi. His in-laws were in Rawalpindi. So what happened? My wife of my brother, she went to Rawalpindi, her parents' house. And my brother also went to Rawalpindi to bring her back. Since we were left alone at Lahore, my brother suggested, why don't we go to Sheikhupura for some days. So myself and my mother, we went to Sheikhupura in August 1947. Some of our belongings we took it from Lahore too. For 15 days we went there. My mother was quite illiterate. So we went to a place of Sheikhupura where my cousin was staying. He was a law graduate. He had 4 sons and 2 daughters. All his sons were elder to me except one last. So people used to discuss with each other what will happen after the partition of the country. My cousin, we used to discuss on the dinner table, asked what will happen, political scene, what is the political scene about this. So he said that when there is change of kingdoms, population is not changed, population, people don't shift from one place to other place. Everybody stays there, only change of government or change of ruler is changed. He was of this opinion. But mostly people stealthily means they used to shift or go away during night. They used to take a night train and shift to some other place. He also sent his family, my cousin, I think he sent to Jammu. His wife was from Jammu. They sent this place to him. My elder brother, he wrote a letter to my cousin. 15th August, maybe a disturbance on the 15th August. Why don't myself and my mother come to Delhi for some days, and after 15th of August they may go back? It was a good idea, because we were alone. My brother was also not there, he was at Rawalpindi. So we thought also to go to Delhi. We prepared one trunk and one baggage. And my mother put all the good things in that baggage and trunk. She told me you take some of the things which. So I thought, why should I put all my things here? We are coming back after 15 days. Anyway, I also put some things of my liking in the trunk, and we boarded the train for Delhi. We had to go to Lahore. So we went to Lahore by train from Sheikhupura to Lahore, and from Lahore we have to take a train frontier mail from Lahore to Delhi. The frontier mail used to be started from Rawalpindi, I guess. So packed trains were there, very packed train, people were coming. So I remember that on the Lahore station, we could not enter the compartment. So packed. And our baggage, Bistara bin, that was such a big one that it was not easy to put it in the door or in that compartment. So one trunk they put, and then that Bistara bin that was lying on the platform. What to do with that? So what I did was I asked the coolie to put that stuff in some other compartment. And when we go to Amritsar, we shall shift it from this compartment. The train started after midnight for Amritsar. When we reached Amritsar, it was started raining heavily. It was about 2 a.m. So my mother told me, go and find out where is that Mr. Aban. So people insisted, why you ask this young boy to go in this rain? And secondly, I also could not find out the location where I had put the Mr. Aban. So I thought in the morning, we'll go and find out what is the place. So I remember that in the morning at about 8 a.m. when I went to that compartment to find out whether Mr. Aban was there or not, I found that those people who had their seats reserved, they thought there may be some bomb in that Mr. Aban. They unloaded the Mr. Aban at Amritsar. Yes, they unloaded the Mr. Aban at Amritsar. And the guard shifted my luggage to the lost property office. So at Jagadri was a place. The train guard told me that your baggage has been left at Amritsar as in the lost property office. What to do? My mother, myself. So my mother said that I go to Delhi and you go back to Amritsar and find out the baggage. Okay. My mother went to Delhi. My mother was there, they were received and everything. And my brother asked my mother, why you have allowed that boy to go back to Amritsar? It was not proper. You should not have allowed him. Anyway, I reached Amritsar at about midnight. Went to the lost property office to find out whether that baggage was there. And he said that your baggage has been given to somebody. There was some Muslim person. He claimed that it was his baggage and that baggage has been taken by him. So I was very disappointed. And I came to Delhi.
By train?
I came to Delhi, stayed for the night on the platform, waiting room. Morning, then I found out the place of my brother, Daraganj. In Daraganj, my brother used to have his shop, name as Harrison Engineers. So we lived with my brother, elder brother, Madan, during the partition.
So you had no idea that you would be moving only for that your move is permanent. You had no idea.
We had no idea that we won't go back. All our luggage, bungalow, everything, the furniture, property, there was no property in Lahore. But our property was in Gujranwala. We had one shop and one double-story building was there in Gujranwala in the business area.
Did you make any arrangements to return? Any arrangement was made to try to return some of the belongings, anything Any property
we had
in
a
Lahore?
locker in the bank also, and there was my postal certificates in my name, which I got transferred after 1947 to Delhi. That was the only money I had. It was about, I think, 25,000 rupees. That was a big amount at that time. So we used to live only on the interest of that money. That was the only income.
Do you know of anyone who decided to stay behind? कि हम नहीं move shift करेंगे. कहते we will stay behind and not come.
All my person known to me, they all shifted to India, not in Pakistan.
Nobody even tried to stay behind.
There was no question of staying. The hostilities were so much. It was not possible for an ordinary Hindu person to stay back.
And do you know that if anyone, some friends of yours who migrated, they got some help from Muslims there or something?
Help from Muslim?
Help from anyone while migrating? From local? No.
No, myself didn't migrate. I had already shifted to Delhi before 15th August. So my brother also came afterwards.
From Rawalpindi.
He had different experiences. His train was attacked by Muslims. He had a very narrow escape and all that. All other family members who were in that Lohianwala, Gujranwala, they also shifted to India in camps and all. They had different experiences of the partition. But I had not seen any. In Lahore, there used to be cases of arson, bomb. At night there used to be places that you were seeing that fire, they were burning, houses were on fire at night.
Many things there.
This we used to see in Lahore.
So the house that you were staying in Delhi, that was your brother's?
That was a rented house of my brother.
That was a rented house. So was there any situation that where you had to squat? So was there a property left behind by some Muslim? Was there any situation like that?
Yes, in there. So what happened, those Muslims who went to Pakistan, their property was occupied by the Hindus.
Yeah.
So my brother, there was one small flat in Daraganj. Muslims had gone to Pakistan. So my brother occupied that flat and we were asked to stay there in Daraganj.
You were asked to stay there?
Yes, naturally. So you stay there now in this place. That is a vacant property, a Muslim property.
Yeah.
So that was not very good property also. Just a house, simple one room, 2-room house.
And did you eventually have to leave the house or did you stay there finally, permanently?
Where?
That 2-room house?
No, at that time I told you that I was in 9th class. So up to 10th class we stayed there. Myself and my brother was in the upper story, and my brother was in the first floor, and there was one shop on the ground floor. The name of that was a tailor's shop, Fair Deal Tailors. This I remember. So I was in 10th class at that time, 1947. In 1948, then I did my college, 10th, 11th. I did my 11th and 12th from Government College, Rohtak. I didn't stay in Delhi because the Punjab University was not there.
Yes.
And there was one camp college. In the camp college, there was only arts, science was not there. So I went to Government College, Rohtak to study science then.
And were there any people that you know who had to stay in refugee camps and who could not find a place to stay in Delhi?
Yes, there were one family. Some relations of my sister-in-law. They also came from Rawalpindi, and they were staying in a camp. Kotla Firozshah was a refugee camp.
Kotla?
So they were staying in Kotla Firozshah. Yes, I remember. With that family, my maternal uncle's daughter was married with that boy. So that family was staying in Kotla Firozshah camp.
So, can you tell me what difficulties did your whole family have when they moved? So, to start integrating in the new country, in Delhi. So, was it very difficult? What was the difficulty that they had?
Difficulty, there is no source of income.
Okay.
My brother, who was law graduate, he worked sometime with the elder brother in workshop, but that was not feasible to stay there, and not possible, advisable to stay in Delhi. Then my brother was elder to me, law graduate. He got a job as a public prosecutor in UP.
Okay.
So he remained throughout the life in UP. And my eldest brother, who was in Delhi, he had some problems with his wife. They were strained relations. So he also shifted from Delhi out. So my mother only stayed in Delhi. And my sister.
And what about the property that you left behind?
We had two properties, one in Sheikhupura and one in Gujranwala.
Gujranwala.
So I got a claim, only of claim.
You got some claim?
We got a claim certificate. And in the claims also, we were not given cash. They said they were 5 years Zamindara abolition bonds the government gave us. And we got a meager compensation, very meager compensation. The
So-
property was thousands, we got just few hundreds.
So, you got some help from relatives because the fact that your brother was already in Delhi. So, compared to other people, was it very helpful that your brother was already in Delhi?
Yes, it was quite helpful. We had somebody to back up on.
And did ordinary refugees ever face any discrimination in Delhi, or were they welcomed properly?
Why they were refugees, they stayed in the camps, refugee camps. The government used to give them some money to just live on. Many of the refugees, they started own business, any kind of business to earn their living. It's a very hard time for them. I know one of the families, they had come from Pakistan. The head of the family could not bear the stress and strain of the partition and became mad. Then my neighbors, Bharatbhushan Soni, and they shifted to Delhi. He also shifted to Delhi, we were also in Delhi. After partition, I went outside and they remained in Delhi.
Do you remember anyone from pre-partition who stayed back, like some Muslim acquaintance, friend, anything?
No, I didn't know much acquaintances Muslim boys. They were friend of my brother, but I don't remember because I was quite young.
Quite, yeah. So, would you?
One of my friends, I think 7th or 8th class, I remember that he was a good cricketer. And when we shifted to Delhi, and he was in the Pakistan team. He was in the Pakistan team as a cricketer. And he came to Delhi in the Pakistan team. So Waqar Hussain, uska naam.
Waqar Hussain.
Waqar Hussain tha. His name was Waqar Hussain.
Okay.
So I tried to contact him. I should meet him in Delhi Pakistan team. But I don't know, on the way I say, idea came, why should I meet him? He's a Pakistani. Why should I meet him? And what will happen? He was only my classmate. My friendship was only up to the class, not up to his house. So then I came back. I didn't meet him.
So I put it to you, would you ever like to even go back and see? Did you have any interest in going back and seeing
I
your
had
old
no
house?
interest to go back. It's lost is lost.
Lost.
Because those things were not different, absolutely changed. Some Muslim families must have entered in our houses. How they are living, I am interested. Lost is
Lost.
I never thought of going back to
Never
Pakistan
thought.
to see
To see
what
what? Nothing. And you would say the same was with your brothers?
I do not. Whether they went once to get the things from the
I think so.
locker of the bank. That's all.
That's all. So, now we have talked about partition. Now, tell us your whole journey after your jobs and career after partition. How did you
How did
How
I,
did you-
How did I manage?
manage? How did you live your whole life? Where did you study? What did you work?
So I just told you that I did my 11th and 12th class from the government college Rohtak, PCM. I could not get good marks. Percentage of marks my was second division, 58% marks. During those days, only first division marks are able to get admission in engineering colleges. There were very few engineering colleges in India. Roorkee Engineering College was a diploma certificate in civil engineering. I was interested in mechanical or automobile engineering. So I have just said that my sister was living in the lower. What happened was my brother also, when we shifted to UP, got a job there in the law department. My elder sister was married in Delhi. She shifted in that flat, the Reagans. So they came to the Reagan. They were living in the first floor, we were living in the second floor. So he was only my guide. My brother-in-law was only my guide. He was MA in English of those days. But he did not join government service. He wanted to clear IAS examination. So what happened during the war, Second World War, IAS examinations were stopped. And educated boys were asked to join the army. So he did not clear the IAS examination. He started his career as a clerk in the bank. But he was also not satisfied with the bank service also. Then he started his business. Business was not good. So regarding my career, I want to tell you that after my 10 plus 2, I tried to get admission. My brother-in-law advised me to Banaras Hindu University, is very good university. Why not? But I sent my application to Banaras Hindu. There was no chance because my percentage was very poor. And secondly, his knowledge about the professional education was very poor of my brother-in-law. There was no other advisor, no other elder to advise me. So to say, my percentage in my 10th class was 68% first division. And my brother became very happy because so far none of my family members had got so many percentage. None of my family members did studied science. They studied only medical. I was the only person who studied mathematics and science. I was interested to study mathematics and science. So after my 10 plus 2, it was a problem what to do when I didn't get any admission there. My brother-in-law was interested I should study in Delhi. But there was no college of Punjab University where I could get admission. Kemp College was only arts college. Government College Rohtak was only up to 10 plus 2. That was not a graduate. There was no graduation there. I had to come back to Delhi. Then there is a problem what to do. What stream I should join. So he told me that why don't you do graduation in mathematics? There were two subjects, Group A mathematics and Group B mathematics. There were two different subjects in mathematics. And for graduation then you have to take only three subjects. He told me that you take mathematics A, mathematics B and English and one optional subject in the graduation. I was interested to study science. All right. I wanted to study in the DAV college. DAV college, Jalandhar. That was a very good college, DAV college. So I went to, he said, all right. I took my baggage, certificates, and went alone from Delhi to Jalandhar, DAV college, and got admission in BSc. Principal signed, okay, admitted. Deposited the fees. I told him I'm going to Delhi. I'm coming back after 2-3 days, and then I will deposit the fees. In the meantime, they forced me that why don't you study it in Delhi and join this AB course? You are living in Delhi, why you want to go to Jalandhar? An AB course you will get good percentage. That's okay. They convinced my mother also. You will live alone. He will give in the hostel. There were one college, private college, in Gold Market, Delhi, New Delhi. The name of that school, I don't remember, but there was a very good, very well-known academy, coaching academy. I went there. I bought the books, got admission there. First day when I went to the academy, my impression was very poor. The boys were not very disciplined. The teacher was also very friendly with boys. The teacher was smoking in front of the boys. Some of the boys were also smoking. I was very, I thought this is very bad atmosphere, and I will also indulge in bad habits. The boys are also smoking, the teacher is also, they're just behaving like friends, teacher and boys. I came back, I don't want to study. Don't study. Go to Jalandhar. I came to Jalandhar. When I went to the Jalandhar DAV college, they said, since you have come after 20 days, there are no seat in the BSc. No seat in the BSc. No seat in the mathematics. The full college is full. I couldn't get admission. My cousin who was staying in Sheikhupura, he had shifted to Ludhiana. Then I tried to, go to Ludhiana. Government College Ludhiana was also very popular during those days. And his sons were sitting in Government College Ludhiana. The name of one son, Gopal Christian Avasti, he used to write like this. He was studying in the Government College. Okay, you'll go in the morning and find out whether there is one seat or request the principal. I went to the Government College Ludhiana for admission in graduation. No seat is available. Very much disappointed. Again went to Jalandhar. There was one college, SD college, run by one family. There was no other college in Jalandhar. So anyway, I went to the SD college and got admission in mathematics and physics. Physics was a subject separate, chemistry was a separate subject, mathematics A group was separate subject, Mathematics B group was separate subject. So instead of taking 2 mathematics, I took physics and mathematics. So my physics teacher was very old person. Whatever he used to speak in the lecture, we were hardly able to understand. If we asked him any questions, he was reluctant to answer. Since he was very old, he used to speak in very slow voice. He was to be retired after 1 year. Same thing happened with me in the government college, Rohtak. My chemistry teacher was very old. Mr. Narang was chemistry teacher. There were no teeth in his mouth. And he used to, whatever he used to speak, he was not audible. We were not able to understand what he's speaking, like equations. So I had very poor teachers in 10+2. My chemistry teacher was then my physics teacher. We had a new physics teacher during my session. New physics teacher came. That was also not very good course. So my teachers in physics and chemistry, they are very much. Regarding my mathematics teacher, unfortunate, he got a typhoid fever. He remained absent much of the time from the college. My mathematics course was not completed in my group. I didn't have any tuition. So my 10+2 was not satisfactory. During my college studies, our English teacher, he was a very well-known Dr. Carr. He was a Bengali Dr. Carr, PhD. He was PhD in English. But he was also nearly about 57. Very old person. He had written many books, but he was not a good teacher. Whatever he was speaking was beyond our knowledge. Studying English teacher was very difficult. He used to teach us drama as you like it. But hardly we could understand what he's saying. English class used to be quite a big class because science students and math students, they used to study English together. Very large. So what happened that after during my graduation, my physics paper was not good. I was not able to do good in my physics examination. And I went to my other teacher, physics teacher of the other group. So what should I do? He said that it is very bad to get a 3rd division marks. If you think that you will get a 3rd division marks, it's better to leave the examination. He advised me not to appear in the practical examinations. In those days, if you are missing the practical examination, you fail. So he advised me miss the practical examination. So miss the practical. The second, we used to get one more chance. One in July and one in this September. Then I appeared in this September examination. In the September examination, not much I could do. I hardly got 2nd division marks. Marginal 2nd division marks. Our mathematics teacher in the graduation was horrible. I still remember Mr. Jan was our mathematics teacher. He was not interested to teach in this college. He was interested to teach in DAV college. So he was trying to leave this college and go. All the queries which we were made, he was not telling us. So mathematics was very, how could he do it? This was my luck. Mathematics teacher very poor, English teacher very poor, फिजिक्स का जो है वो बूढ़ा, वो समझ ही नहीं आता क्या बोल रहा है. What satisfaction you will have? So I get very poor experience of my graduation in 10+2. After I did my graduation, it was a problem what to do. September 1953, I did my graduation. 52, 53, yes. There's a problem what to do. I have done my graduation with science. Interested to do engineering. No college in engineering. All the admissions were over. All the admissions were over in April, May. I did in September. So I had to lose 1 year till March 1954. I was in a puzzle what to do. I used to read paper, apply for the post of a lower division clerk, upper division clerk, jobs like this. But seriously, I was interested in advanced studies. Once I saw this advertisement, there was one government School of Social Work, diploma course in 1 year, graduation minimum. They wanted minimum, graduate, postgraduates also welcome. I just applied because I was interested to go to Bombay. Go to Bombay and also interested sometime to do diploma in cinematography, to get more knowledge about the photography and then go abroad in photography. So I was already halfway to go to study this subject. So I was interested to go to Bombay also. So luckily they sent me admission without any counseling, without any. I was surprised since it is an art subject they are teaching, and I'm a science subject, why they have given me the admission? Anyway, I went to Bombay because it was only a 1 year course. Went to Bombay. The subjects were all arts subjects, the 10 subjects were there. Statistics were there, labor economics, labor law, personal management, labor industry like this. So there were all 10 subjects. All subjects were art subjects. In that, there was one subject, labor economics. The professor of labor economics was such a person. He was Marathi. His speaking English was so horrible that I could not understand what he was speaking. He was a professor of our labor economics, which he is telling I was not able to understand what he is talking about. Labor economics. There are other subjects, social studies. In the social studies, there was one professor, Mr. Goyal. He was about also 58 years. 58 years. He was also a peculiar person. He also used to, his English was very poor. He was from UP and he was subject to social studies. That I was not satisfied what he is talk about marriage and all those things and social. In those days, there was, in our school, they did not prescribe us any book. Only teachers and lectures were there. Short course was quite short. So one professor was Dr. Murthy. He used to teach us human relation, personal management. He was a very nice person. He was Bengali Murthy. So he was a professor in Tata Institute of Social Sciences. He was a visiting professor in our school. So I was impressed. Tata Institute is a very good institute. So I was always cursing that why didn't I join this Tata Institute? So Tata Institute they were offering post-graduation 2 years masters in social sciences. 2 years course was there, but that was very good course. Ours was only 1 year course. So anyway, I did my diploma course in this human relation. There was one friend, Mr. O.P. Verma, my classmate, roommate. So he used to write Dr. O.P. Sharma. But so he was running a coaching center in Dehradun. He got admission in that course in Bombay. He was my roommate. He was a person, he was married person. He was not very much interested in this course. He told me, in the evening we are free, why don't we join another course also? We are free in the evening, we joined some other course also. So there is one course known as LSGD, Diploma in Local Self-Government. So we joined in the evening at that course. That was only 6 months course. In the evening we used to go to the church gate in this course, 1 hour of the lectures. Time passed. We also passed that LSD diploma also. We passed diploma in human relation also. A double chance we have got. We can become the secretary in the municipal committees, secretary in the municipal committee, municipal corporations, and human relation in the industry. Came to Delhi. In those periods, I'm talking of 1954, there was no industry in Delhi except the DCM mills. So my job was only in the industry. We had to get a job. Used to see the paper, apply for the job. That's all. In the meantime, my eldest brother, he used to run a moving talkie business. He was not successful because he was employed in moving talkies, touring talkie. So he was interested to start his own business, but he had no money. So he came to Delhi, met my mother. He said, what Jagmohan is doing, not doing anything after graduation. Why he does not join my business? Join my business for 1 year till he is not getting any job. And I invested about 10,000 rupees in that cinema business, purchased in machinery and equipment and everything. And I went with my elder brother. My elder brother was running a cinema in Madhya Pradesh. In this place, Bhopal and all those places. Bhopal, not proper Bhopal, but near the suburbs of Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. District places. So I lived with my elder brother in this business for about 1 year. 1956 to 1956. I toured with my brother in the touring talkie. The life, of my touring talkie business was very strange. We used to sleep at 2 a.m., get up at 10 a.m., lunch at 2 p.m., start business at 6, 7 p.m. And I used to sell tickets, cinema tickets. I used to keep account all that. But we were not lucky. Whenever there was good gross, there was failure of engine or the machine. And we were to return the money. In short, we suffered